From now until the end of July, all WagerTalk and Sports Memo customers can load as many as 3 and 7-day all-access passes as they want into their shopping cart and take 60% off using coupon code CART60. This coupon code can be used only once at WagerTalk and once at Sports Memo, but there is no limit to the amount of 3 and 7-day all-access passes you can load into your cart when redeeming. Every handicapper is eligible, so take advantage of the biggest discount we have ever offered. And don't forget, coupon code CART60 can only be used once per site and expires when the clock strikes midnight on July 31st.
Welcome, everybody, to Wager Talk Today. I'm back, Lawrence Presman here, slightly left of center, but that seems appropriate given my brain. It's July 22nd. It's Thursday, and, well, Steve, do you believe in jinxes?
Yeah, I think you know where you're going with this. I do believe in that particular jinx, yes.
You really do? Like, you legit believe in that shit?
I'll explain why. I know you're talking about the $2 Tuesday jinx. If it's that one, I do believe in it.
Well, I don't want to call anything the $2 Tuesday jinx. I won like 2 of my last 3 $2 Tuesdays. It's more like my braggadocious 18-3.
That I do. Yeah, that
Monday.
I do believe in. Yeah, that one
and
I believe in.
Now I've lost 3 baseball games in a row. For some, that could be a day. For me, it's over a 3-day period. But my 18-3 run is now 18-6. It's still really good, but well, I don't believe in jinxes, Steve. I think it's all a load of crap. I think ultimately it's one of those coincidences where you get to the top of the mountain, and, well, what happens when you get to the top of the mountain, Steve?
You have to start going down at some point. Let me say this, though. I don't believe in jinxes. I shouldn't have said it that way. I do believe in statistical fluctuations. And as we know, when you're on an 18-3 run, you can fluctuate, hit 60% over the next month. Your record's going to get worse, but you're still making money. So, no one's going to hit 90, 80, 90%, but you can still make money even if your record percentage-wise gets worse. There's a lot of different ways to look at it, but the braggadocious part of it does concern me, though. Yeah. That was a jinx waiting to happen.
Well, firstly, 0-3 doesn't make anybody money. Secondly, this is what we do for a living. We literally handicap games, and when we're on streaks, we publicize them. So I don't know how else to go about it. But if God is listening, and I would be amazed if he's listening to little old me, but if he is, I'm on an 0-3 run, God. 0-3. Double reverse. Steve, what a show today, man. Dave Cokin right off the top. Braves, Phillies, Giants, Dodgers, A's, Mariners. Tony Mejia next. We're going to be talking soccer and basketball futures for the Olympics, and Carmine, Bianco, a couple of Gold Cup games in soccer. Give me the highlights of yesterday's show. What did I miss?
Oh, the show yesterday was great, actually. Rob Vino did a fantastic job. We talked Olympics for the whole first segment with Andrew McGinnis. Rob Vino and myself quadrupled our knowledge of volleyball in about a 10-minute span. In all seriousness, if you missed the show yesterday, any viewers out there, go back here on the YouTube channel, Wager Talk TV. Find the July 21st Wager Talk Today with myself and Rob Vino, and watch Andrew's segment. It was a textbook how to bet volleyball in about a 10-minute span. He also gave out a futures play, who to win it. He gave out a free over-under selection on one of the first games. So Olympics are here, my man. And then a great segment, as always, with Arthur DeCesar. He always brings it from the link.
Yeah, listen, Andrew McGinnis is a really good volleyball player, and he does play-by-play volleyball as well. Yeah. I don't get it. I have no idea why anyone would want to play that sport. It doesn't even look fun. You're basically diving on hardwood floor half the game, and then your fingers hurt at the end of the game. You get balls in your face all game. I mean, there's not a male on the planet that wants balls in his face. Okay, that's not true. 90% of males on the planet don't want balls in their face. Anyway, what did you learn last night? Anything?
Yeah, I mean, we'll keep it quick because we got a packed show, as you know. But baseball. And, the Giants and Dodgers had another back-and-forth game. Giants blew a 6-1 lead the night before on Monday, ended up losing 8-6. They got their revenge last night, overcame a 2-1 deficit later in the game, won 4-2. The Giants look like they're going to be in contention all the way in the stretch here, along with the Dodgers, as we've known. It's going to be really hard, I think, for any other team to sneak in with the Padres, Dodgers, and Giants. Two of those teams getting the wild card, one of them winning the West, which means the Brewers are pulling away in the East. And we could maybe start saying, the Mets are starting to pull away a little bit. They beat the Reds 7-0. That was a blow to Cincinnati trying to catch Milwaukee, and also good for the New York Mets in that NL East there. Yankees tried to blow a game against the Phillies. Phillies got 3 late in that game. Yankees came back for a bottom of the 9th win, 6-5. Actually, bottom of the 10th win, 6-5. Another thing, scoring was down finally. Prez, we talked about Sunday, Monday, all those high-scoring games where teams went over by themselves. Everybody basically, I believe, had single digits last night. First time in a while we've seen that. And the Arizona Diamondbacks are hot. They've won 2 straight. Prez, you've lost 3 straight. The D-backs have finally won 2 straight. So that just shows things go in flukes and statistical sequences like that. And when you're as bad as the Diamondbacks have been, you're due for a little correction. And when you're as hot as you've been, my man, you're due to have an off day or two. So that's what I learned on Wednesday night, July 21st.
Excellent stuff. Guys, want to hear about my day yesterday? Madoff Love, Prez, show us your badly cropped Photoshop pics on a jet ski. Yeah, nobody photoshops pics on a jet ski. Jet ski, you just literally sit on the damn thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's not the challenging one. That was
pretty
the warm-up
straightforward stuff.
The Aquatic Olympics, the jet ski is like the warm-up event. That's nothing special.
Yeah, man. Like, come on. Jet skis anyway. Stay tuned for the penalty box segment, everyone. Dave Cokin, how are you, my friend? What's going on?
Hey, no complaints for the most part. Looking to pick some winners. I've been getting most of them right for the most part this year. I've moved to number 1 on the WagerTalk All Sports leaderboard for the year. And if you go back to really when I started full time with WagerTalk at the beginning of 2018, I'm number 1 all sports on the leaderboard. So I would like to stay in that position because that'll mean I'm doing well.
Well, listen, we want you to stay in that position too, but we just want to all be up around you. Well, now that you've promoted yourself, I don't have to, but I probably might again. Do you believe in jinxes, dude? Do you believe in jinxes?
No, I had fun with them. For instance, if somebody tells me you look good in this game at halftime, I want to kill them. But it really doesn't have an impact. No, I don't believe in that stuff.
Yeah, you and me both. Let's get into it. Atlanta Braves -130 versus the Philadelphia Phillies. 8.5 is the total. Morton on the mound today. Dave, how should we bet this game?
I think I'm not going to. Morton's been better than Moore. Excuse me. It's been an allergy. It's been a big allergy morning, so you might have to put up with the sneezes. But the Phillies are using Moore pretty wisely. They're getting him out of there. Excuse me. They're getting him out of there before real trouble begins. So he's going to go maybe 4 innings, and then they'll get out of there. Look, the Braves to me are a team that right now is in kind of no man's land. They lost Acuna for the season. Boy, excuse me. I hate doing this while we're doing this show, but when my allergies, when the hay fever gets rolling, there's not much I can do about it. The Braves, I don't think are going to be buyers at the deadline. The Acuna injury basically means they're not going to be a playoff team. It's as simple as that. And that has a tendency to take the edge off a team. I guess I give a little bit of an edge to the Phillies here, but I don't have enough confidence in their bullpen to play the full game. And Morton still has the better numbers as opposed to Moore in the first 5 innings. So for me, it's going to be a pass.
Dave, I'll ask you quickly about the Phillies in general. I mentioned they, had that big 3-run burst late in the game last night, and then they lose in the bottom of the 10th, and now they travel basically. How much do you factor that into the handicap in this one?
Not a great deal. The teams are used to it by this time of year. That's the one thing about baseball is they're basically always living out of a suitcase the whole year long. So I don't really factor that in much.
Dave Cokin, everybody. Number one handicapper. Net profits since the start of 2018, which that seems so long ago. Some might call them the good old days. Dave, San Francisco playing the Dodgers tonight. Ferris Bueller on the mound. Minus 170. Man, these two teams are so even. This is a stay away game for me, but can't wait to hear what you think we should do.
It's a good matchup. If Ferris Bueller was actually pitching for the Dodgers, I'd be all over the Giants because Ferris Bueller is not a major league pitcher, and also at this point, Ferris Bueller would be like what, 50 years old. So
my money's on
Giants.
Ferris.
I didn't hear what you said.
Don't worry, I'm being an idiot. Keep going.
Okay. Walker Bueller, on the other hand, is a really good pitcher, and he's in good form. He's in better form than DeSclafani, although DeSclafani's having a very good year for the Giants. I'm glancing over here at my numbers. Past month, OPS, Bueller plus 123 against DeSclafani. So he's in better form. The Dodgers are the better team. DeSclafani's numbers for the year are very good on the road. Giants are hitting righties pretty well. Dodgers are hitting righties as well. I think the Dodgers win. I'm not enamored with the price, however. This is where price versus opinion matters. I mean, if the game's a pick 'em, I'm going to take the Dodgers, but it's $1.70. I'm not going to take the Dodgers at that price. The flip side of it is, despite there being apparent value on the Giants, and I do think there's some value, I still don't have them winning the game. And this is the difference between, I guess, myself and a lot of the model handicappers who will just simply pounce on the value regardless of opinion. I don't do that. It means a lot less plays, but it means I throw out a lot of games where I have value on the dog, but I just don't see them winning the game. And that's probably why I don't have as many plays as most people. So for this game, I like the Dodgers to win. I don't like the price. That's a pass.
Yeah, and Dave, to give me a big picture takeaway on the Giants here, this is a team that's vastly overachieved from their preseason expectations. One thing I pointed out is they still have a winning record against 500 teams, but the Dodgers are still 22-22 against winning teams this year. This series has gone back and forth the last couple nights. What are your take on the Giants? Still a playoff team? Do you think they can still win this division when all is said and done?
Steve, I have no idea what you just asked me. You're breaking up, so I can't. I can hear myself. I can't hear you.
Giants.
So I can't answer the question. I don't know what it was.
Are the Giants still a team we should be looking to bet on, or they're a team that blew their load in the first half of the season?
Okay, I can't hear. I can't hear. So I'm just going to go to the third game. Hold on. Stop talking. Okay, I'm just going to do the third game here, which is the Oakland-Seattle game, and don't ask me any questions because I can't hear what you're saying. So let's look at the Oakland-Seattle game. This is the free play that I'm using today. Mejia versus Flexen. My free plays are selections, so this is a game that's on my card, and I'm going to take the Seattle side here. It's not a perfect scenario. Okay, Oakland has a scheduling advantage because the A's had yesterday off. They've been very good off a day of rest this season. I think it's 9-2 for the year. And Mejia is a good pitcher. However, at the price, I do think Seattle is worth playing here. You're getting about plus 140 with the Mariners as home dogs. They've been money in the bank with Flexen pitching at home. 8-2 on the season, both first five and full game when Flexen pitchers at home. And in addition to that, this Mariners team is playing with a ton of confidence right now. I know all the analytics, Pythagorean, whatever you want to look at, all says that this is a phony Seattle team. They should not have a winning record. And I can agree with that. But from the neck up, the Mariners are a very confident baseball team right now. The scheduling disadvantage here, they're coming out of Coors with no rest. So that does favor Oakland. But the pitching stuff does favor Flexen. They're on a big roll when he pitches. I'm going to take the Mariners in this game at plus 140 to win the first 5 innings. And that's it for me because I can't hear anything on your end. So I'll say goodbye. Check out the best bet at WagerTalk for tonight. Check out my other packages and let's make some money.
Dave Cokin, everybody. Outstanding job, Steve. That guy does not need us. Legit. While Dave was talking, I was checking out Tony Mejia. I tend to do that in time. And dude's got no hair and went like this. Like, I want to know the point of that. But we'll find out soon. We're going to take a quick break. We're coming back. Steve's big game breakdown. Tony Mejia, Olympic talk, some soccer talk. Penalty box segment. We got so much more. We love you guys. Hit that like button. Best show ever.
Dave Cokin and Andy Lang are not only crushing the greens in 2021, number 1 and number 2 this year, increasing client bankrolls by 99%, but they also did the same in 2020 with Andy producing 31 in profit and Dave 26. For a limited time, you can get the next 5 PGA Tour events from both Dave Cokin and Andy Lang for the half the price. As an added bonus, any Olympic golf or additional golf tournaments released will be included for free.
It's time for a little big game breakdown. Thursday, July 22nd. Going to look at a Major League Baseball game for tonight. You know, after the All-Star break, one of my potential play-on teams I've said on several shows is the LA Angels. Just think they basically played 500 ball for the first half of the season without Mike Trout, with Anthony Rendon barely playing as a superstar. They've been carried by Ohtani, obviously. But that doesn't mean we blindly play teams each and every day. And something else I said earlier in the week was that the Twins looked like a seller. Beware of the Twins. And they did falter out of the All-Star gate. In fact, until their win last night, they'd lost 5 out of 6. However, as handicappers, we have to be nimble. We have to be flexible. And I think this is actually a good spot tonight to play the Minnesota Twins as a home favorite. And there's a few different reasons why. First of all, Maeda's on the mound, not to be confused with Tony Mejia, who's on the mound about to come in from the bullpen here on WagerTalk Today. But Maeda has been a 4.8 ERA, nothing great about that, but a 1.37 whip is exactly the same as Haney's 1.36 whip. Haney's got a 5.6 ERA for the Angels. So I think we get the better starting pitcher here tonight with Minnesota. But more importantly, I like the current form. Minnesota, I said they looked like sellers. They've been underachievers, one of the biggest money burners in baseball this year. But at some point, we get value with those type of teams. I like for offensive momentum to pick up. They've done that the last 2 games against the White Sox. They lost 9-5, but they had 5 runs on 8 hits, and then they come back yesterday. Nice 7-2 underdog win as a $1.40 dog, 11 hits, 7 runs. They've now had 19 hits, 12 runs, 19 hits the last 2 days against a good White Sox squad on the road. They now return home. They're taking on an Angels team. Just came off a 2-game set against Oakland, an important divisional 2-game set against Oakland, and they did not show up. Lost 10-1 combined in those 2 games, at 8 and 7 hits only. So we've got a Twins team, 12 runs the last 2 games against an A's team that scored exactly 1 run total. I like the offensive momentum picking up for Minnesota. At some point this season, we're going to get value with the Twins, who have drastically underachieved, and I think that starts tonight. Take a look at the Minnesota Twins, currently around the $1.40 range, $1.45 range at home. That goes at 8 p.m. Eastern Thursday night. Back to you, El Presidente.
Steve Merril, good friend. Before we bring Tony in, I just want to say, you're a NASCAR guy, right? I mean, you watch people
Correct.
Drive around. So I started the Formula One series on Netflix, Formula One Drive to Survive or something. I think it's 3 seasons, 10 episodes. I'm in episode 4. Unbelievable. Like, I legitimately can't deal with auto racing. I don't get it. I'm like, why not just do it on tricycles, go on the big wheel? Like, none of it makes sense to me. I like horse racing, dog racing. Like, it is just pure, I mean, just boredom at its maximum degree from my perspective. But man, I am going to become a Formula One fan for some reason. I mean, the characters, the ego, the drama between the teams. It is, this show is just ridiculous. Have you watched any of it?
No, I need to. I didn't even know about this show, to be honest. And it's funny, Prez, I'm a huge NASCAR guy. I got into it in 2000 because I knew people handicapping in the 1990s. The only thing that got me into NASCAR was betting. I'll be dead honest with you. It was points spreads and betting. And then I started to appreciate the sport. It's kind of like a fine wine. There's a lot of intricacies, like you're saying. You have to dig a little deeper than just watching them go around. Formula One is cool because they're on road courses. My problem with Formula One, though, is that there's very little passing. There's literally 2 or 3 guys at the top that win every race. So if you get into Formula One, my man, we're going to get you down here. You know, we're going to get you down to Virginia. We'll get you down here in either April or September, probably April, do the spring race at Richmond sometime. It's an event. And it does get a little boring in the middle of the race. So you walk around, you people watch for a while, you get some food. But yeah, once you know the drivers, you know the teams and stuff, there's a lot more to it than just watching them go around in circles.
But I'll tell you something, Steve. I mean, Tony M., you're a Formula One guy. Did you watch the sport? Did you watch the Netflix series?
Absolutely not. I couldn't care less about NASCAR or Formula One. But I mean, it sounds compelling. I guess if they dress it up,
Tony,
it's just guys making left turns to me. So,
well, that's NASCAR. NASCAR likes their left turns, and look, who are we to insult a good left turn? But Formula One, Tony, and Caden, I saw your text. Yes, you told me to watch that show. I watched it because of you. Tony, the drama is unbelievable. I mean, what we don't realize, you take a team like Mercedes, they have probably 10,000, 13,000, I don't know, 1,300, like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of staff. Like, they have to hire a conference facility, 3 of them, to have a team meeting. Like, you're like, what does that guy do? What does that guy do? I mean, they are spending $300-400 million a year on their car, Mercedes, Ferrari. Guys, I highly, highly recommend that show. Anyway, dude, let's get into it. Let's start with Olympic basketball, and then we'll talk a little bit of soccer. But right off the bat, Tony, how the hell do you know how Nigeria is going to do at plus 3,300 in this basketball tournament? How the hell did Nigeria get in and Canada didn't? But that's a different question.
Well, Nigeria won at FIBA Africa, but I mean, Canada was in that mix with
I know.
You know, they were right there with Greece. Greece was trying to qualify without Giannis, so he could potentially join that team. He didn't make it either. The Czech Republic, which is actually the United States group, ended up qualifying. So they're a bit of a surprise. But to answer your question, how do you know? We've seen some of these teams play in friendlies coming up, and Nigeria is pretty loaded. I mean, they've got Precious Achiuwa and from the Heat, Casey Akpala from the Heat, Gabe Vincent from the Heat, Chimezi Metu, Jordan Noir, who plays for the Bucks off their bench, Miyeoni. So all these guys are NBA players. Jalil Okafor, the former number 2 pick, is on that roster. Ekpeudo, a former lottery pick. You know, they're actually going to be something to be reckoned with in Group B. And in Group A is, I think, the weakest group. That's where the United States should feast. They're playing against France, the Czech Republic, and Iran.
So let's start with outright winner. USA at minus 500. Times have changed since the Dream Team. Spain is next up at plus 1,000. Australia at plus 1,200. Man, I think Iran at plus 50,000 gives us no value whatsoever. What the hell do we do here, Tony? Do we lay the 500 on America?
Iran is the one team that I don't recognize anybody on their roster. You know, even Japan, they have Nick Fazekas, who you probably remember from Nevada, Rui Hachimura, who's obviously a pro and played at Gonzaga. Yuta Watanabe has been in the league for a while, or has had stints in the NBA. So most of these teams are pretty talented. You know, I don't think Iran gets out of the first round. The Czech Republic has an uphill battle, although, like I said, they have looked impressive in that qualifying tournament. They're led by Thomas Satoransky, who plays for the Bulls. So it's the U.S. and France in Group A, and both teams kind of limping in here. France has lost friendlies to Spain and Japan this month. The United States lost games to Nigeria and Australia, you know, before they righted their ship. And then they're getting Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, and Devin Booker in for the finals prior to this weekend's game against France. So we get to see U.S. and France right off the bat. the United States an 11.5-point favorite against a team that's got Rudy Gobert, Nicholas Batum, and Evan Fournier among names that you should know. Yeah, so it'll be an interesting game right off the bat. See how they've responded to Greg Popovich over the last few days since getting over there.
And Tony, I'm going to let Prez handle all the Olympic soccer with you here in a moment. But, Rob Bino and I were kidding with you the other day that you handicap everything. So shame on you for not handicapping NASCAR. That might be the one thing you don't do, because you even handicap 3-on-3 basketball. And I'm looking at the odds right now. I didn't even realize, Tony, correct me if I'm wrong, but is there 3-on-3 basketball in the Olympics this year? I'm seeing something on that. Let me know if you have any thoughts on that real quick. And I got one more follow-up after that.
Yes, Steve, there is 3-on-3 basketball, and I'm surprised the United States isn't in it. I looked at the odds. This is one of those things where we'll probably have to watch it and then pick a favorite and see who we like. Serbia is the betting favorite from what I saw at BetMGM at plus 130, and Latvia is at plus 220. And the Netherlands is in it, Poland, Belgium, China, Japan. So, we're going to have to see, is there somebody that's a killer 3-on-3 favorite that you want to, put some money on? Poland at plus 1,400, the Netherlands at plus 1,000. Netherlands obviously doesn't have much of a rich basketball history. So, I mean, I'm curious to see this, and I would love to handicap it when going into it completely blind.
Yeah, I just saw that as well. I thought
watch,
that was
though.
Interesting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it will be a lot of fun. But yeah, from what I'm seeing, Prez, it's a bunch of no-name countries. So it's almost like the teams that didn't make the big boy tournament are doing 3-on-3s, it kind of looks like. But real quick, Tony, before
Canada
we get to
didn't
soccer.
Make that either.
Canada didn't make that one. So they'll have a 2-on-2. Yeah. Maybe they can make that one. But obviously the U.S. is the team to beat. Tony, we had Greece back in, 06 or whatever. Greece pulled the big upset. I mean, I think France looks dangerous. As you said, though, they're a little limping, and they're in the same group as the U.S. I think otherwise France would be, very dangerous from another group. Is there a team? I think it's all motivation. I mean, do you agree if the U.S. has a bad game or two, that's when you really maybe look to play on them? And also, is there a team that's within 10 points on a neutral court, all things equal, and everyone's focused? I mean, what point spread wise, perfect situation, gold medal game, everyone's healthy. How close are these teams in your power ratings? 10, 12, 15 points, the next closest team?
Yeah, pretty much. And I think, honestly, Australia is probably going to be the team that I would not be surprised to see in the gold medal match, because they've got Patty Mills, who's flammable, Dante Exum, a guard that can get at you at both ends of the court. Joe Ingles, obviously, everybody knows him from Utah. All these guys can really shoot. They got bigs and Aaron Baines and Jock Landale, who played at St. Mary's. Matisse Thybulle from the 76ers, one of the best defenders in the NBA right now. So, and they've already beaten the United States this month. So I don't think there'll be any fear there. Usual suspects, Spain and Argentina in Group C. And I haven't mentioned Luka Doncic. He's out there for Slovenia. No Goran Dragic, but his brother Zoran will be part of that team. If Goran retired from international competition, they'd obviously be a lot stronger if he was in that mix.
Tony Mejia, everyone, you're watching Wager Talk Today. I don't know how there is a better sports betting daily show out there. Shout out to all you guys logging in every day to listen to us live, and the rest of you are watching us afterwards. Please give us a thumbs up, and also please comment. Both Steve and I do look at the comments. Steve is out of control with his replies. If you don't get a reply from Steve, there's an issue. So make sure.
Yeah, that means I missed it.
Oh, now
I figured
you're sitting at the computer all day.
Yeah, it's a couple. I'll check it a couple times in the evening, and it's the way I look at it, my man, is if they take the time to comment and watch. Obviously, I could take the 10 seconds to reply. So we do really appreciate it. Prez and I probably watch the comments more than anybody for that reason.
Steve, you know what country has the second most NBA players in the world?
That's a good question. Canada. Gotta be Canada.
The one that didn't make the Olympics.
Yeah, I knew where you were going with that, but I would have said Canada even before that, because it had to be Canada.
Yeah.
It is crazy.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there in about 50 years. Tony, soccer. I'm guessing there are going to be penalty shots at some point, and I'm going to tweet out the stupidity of it. I'm guessing there are going to be red cards that shouldn't have happened and yellow cards that should have been red. I'm guessing that refs are going to impact this game more than any other game ever. So with that said, Brazil plus 200, they're your favorite. Spain 250, and then Japan at plus 700. Again, I know the listeners want to hear this, but no Canada. How do we handicap this game, this event from a futures perspective?
By watching, Prez. First of all, let's start with give the ladies some props. United States women, obviously a dominant force in global soccer, just plus 105. So basically, slight plus money for a team that looks loaded again. So I'm going to ride with them. I'll try to find a way to ride with Simone Biles. And in the men, I honestly have no idea because we've already seen some eye-opening results. Mexico beat France 4-1. These teams have already played once each. So before even the opening ceremonies, we've already got results in the books. Brazil won their game, so they look loaded. Mexico's got their normal national team goalie out there because I think you can bring a couple of veterans that are older than 23. The rest of them is comprised of 23 or under players. Spain's going to be solid because they've got some really nice young talent. But, we saw Australia beat Argentina. That was surprising to me. So, again, I'm going to give this another game or two before making determinations. They're in group play right now. So it's 16 teams separated into 4 groups of 4, and the top 2 in each group will obviously make it to the knockout stage. And maybe that's when you really want to dive in on a future or, once you've seen these teams a couple of times. Because, normal national team chemistry. These are younger players that are being put out there on a global stage.
Tony Mejia, everyone. Outstanding stuff. Do you have an Olympic package up for our customers? Any promos you want to give out?
Yeah, I mean, I'll have definitely stuff on basketball in the Olympics, and then we're gonna put together some stuff for other sports. But I mean, it's just funny the way that this event is kind of being thrust upon us. And first, the uncertainty of will it or won't it happen, due to the restrictions in Japan. And now everybody's there. Here we go. I mean,
when's the opening ceremony?
Is it tomorrow night or Saturday? It's one of the two, Friday night or Saturday night.
Usually, I'm like.
By the way, they're 13 hours ahead of us, guys, which is something that, Sherpin brought that up Tuesday, Prez, with the time difference. It's actually 13 ahead of the East Coast, 16 hours ahead of Vegas. So it's a substantial difference.
Yeah.
So it's
normally I'm so into the
Olympics.
Right, like normally I watch the Olympics like 24/7. Like I am glued. This year, for some reason, I just could care less. Anyway, Tony, thanks for joining us, man. We really appreciate it. We'll have you on next week again. We'll talk some baseball. We'll talk more Olympics. Your breakdowns are just invaluable. So thank you, brother. Get the hell out of here. Steve, Merril, we're going to continue talking soccer with Carmine Bianco. Carm's the freaking man, dude. Like flat out. Anyway, I want to know, Carms, we're going to talk Gold Cup, but I'm going to throw some Olympic stuff at him. Are we ready for the bold man? Let's go. Carmine Bianco, here's what I want to know from you before we get into the Gold Cup, and that is, why are the women's soccer odds for Canada so high? This is a team that has just been incredible for like the last 20 years. Now they're like 7th or 8th on the table. I guess Christine St. Clair ain't who she is, who she was.
Well, she's been around forever. She's got like 177 international goals, which is the most ever. She played over 300 games, or she has 300 caps for Canada. But there are just much better teams out there, with US being one of them. And with that in mind, Steve said something about the women's US team. They're plus 110 right now after losing to Sweden, and that is a great price if you can grab it. Grab the 110 because this team's going to beat Australia. They're going to end up winning their group. That first game was an anomaly. Prez, they outplayed Sweden, but just they kept turning the ball over, and they would go the other way and end up in the net. They're getting healthy. They get Julie Ertz back. She played the second half, her first game since an injury, and she runs that team in midfield. They were so much better in the second half. There's no panic mode with this USA team. They're the best team in this competition. Whether they go on to win it is any other thing, but after losing their first game. But 2 games left, they'll end up winning the group, I think, and then make a run to the finals. This is a team that hadn't lost in 44 games prior to losing that game to Sweden 3-0. So plus 110, take them now.
Yeah, let me, Carm, I'll transition that into the next game is Jamaica, correct? What's your take on that one? Obviously, you're going to have minus money there. You're not getting plus money in the individual game. But I agree with you. I think when you take these Class A teams in any sport off a loss, they're always worth a look. That'd be the men's basketball team, as we just talked about, and it's the women's soccer team. They're the Class A teams. So against Jamaica, who's been decent, what's your take on that game?
Yeah, so we're switching to, obviously, to Gold Cup now. We're into the round of 8, which is the quarterfinals. Obviously, the group stages are over. USA, the USA and Jamaica, and these two have met in the knockout stages the last 3 tournaments. 2015, Jamaica knocked out the US 2-1 in the semifinals. USA turned the tables in 2017, beating them 2-1 in the finals. And then in 2019, USA beat them 3-1 on their way to another finals performance. They lost that one to Mexico 1-0. But this is a different USA team. Let's not forget that. This isn't the A team for the US. A lot of these teams, because of the timing of this tournament, a lot of the players who are playing in Europe have returned to Europe and are training with their national team. So you have guys like Christian Pulisic, who's back with Chelsea. You have McKennie, who's back in Italy with Juventus. You have Gio Reyna. You have Sergio Dest, who's back with Barcelona. These are key players for these teams who aren't there. So I hate to call it the B team for the USA, but it is the B team. When you're missing the best of the best on the team is the thing. And they've done what they've had to do, thus far. They won their first 2 games in the group. They played Canada, scored 20 seconds into that game, but then were pretty much outplayed by Canada the rest of the game. But the final score was 1-0 USA. That's all that matters. It's the Jamaica team that I'm looking at as far as fading. They haven't looked good in any of the 3 games. I've watched their games. Their midfield is I hate to use the word horrible, but it's there. Even their own supporters, if you follow them on Instagram or you follow them on Twitter, just complain about this team. USA's minus 175 here. And in all honesty, it's a good price. I'd rather take USA win to 0. You can get plus 160 on that. I just don't see how Jamaica scores. Jamaica would have to play their absolute best game they've played in the last couple of years to beat the US here. And this is beating the USA's B team. If USA had a full complement of players here, this would be one of those games where I'd say USA beats them 3-0, 4-0. 1-0 could be the final scoreline here. It's not exciting by any stretch of the imagination, but it is enough to get the job done and get into the semifinal round.
Carmine, Bianco, no one cares about exciting. We only care about money. The last time soccer was exciting, black and white TVs were around. Listen, real quick. Well, hey, the world was slower. What the hell, Carm? I'm a little bit pissed off. I don't remember Barcelona and Real Madrid playing games during the Euro Cup. They just don't give a crap about anybody in North America, so they pull all their players back. This shit doesn't happen in Europe.
It's a mix of everything. First of all, I want to touch on a couple points, Prez. I know I don't want to take too much of your time.
Yeah,
black and white TV. Yes, that is the last time the Leafs won the cup. Was when black and white TV was predominant. 1967.
Deflect.
I also Dave Cokin, God bless him. He talked about being number 1 since the beginning of 2018 at WagerTalk. I want to throw my hat into the ring and say I am number 3. Profit-wise since the beginning of 2018 at WagerTalk. So I'm not sure who's number 2, but I am in that 3rd spot. So I've got the bronze medal right now as far as that goes.
Okay. Well, bronze medal, 2nd Best loser. Way to go, Carm. But regardless, outstanding stuff. Amazing how the Olympics gives out silver and bronze. But in this day and age, it really is shocking to me with all the liberalism out there I am blown away that every single participant in the Olympics does not get a medal of some color.
Yeah, good point.
It's
trophy culture.
It's wrong. It's flat out wrong. I mean, if you're going to train your whole life and dedicate your whole life, you should at least get a tin medal, copper, tin, iron, aluminum foil. You're right, Steve. We shouldn't have winners. And the craziest thing of all is it should be gender neutral. Anyway, Carmine, Bianco, you got an insane promo to give out, and then we'll talk Canada, Costa Rica. Guys, this is only available for 5 people. The first 5 people. 1 year of Carmine Bianco's entire soccer. Guy's up 128% on his bankroll this calendar year already. 1 year of Carmine soccer for only $599. First 5 guys get it. Promo code CARM1, CARM2, CARM3, CARM4, CARM5. CARM 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Make sure to take advantage of that. Canada takes on Costa Rica. They're underdogs, but man, they got to be a live underdog. This is a much better Canada team than historically. They won their first 2 games of the tournament. They really played their hearts out against the U.S. How you betting this game?
Yeah, it's listen. I thought they were a live dog coming in when the number first came out, and obviously I bet it. They're like the U.S. They're another team that isn't playing with their full squad. The 2 big misses here are obviously Alphonse Davies, who's back in Germany with Bayern Munich. He's healing from an injury, so he would have been a non-starter in this one. And then Jonathan David, who is back in France with last year's champions Lille, not PSG. Lille won the championship last year. These are 2 big components of their team and 2 guys who score for this team. Haven't been there, but yet they still won their first 2 games by the same scoreline, 4-1. Of course, take into that with a grain of salt. They were against Martinique and Haiti in those games. They then gave up the fastest goal ever in Gold Cup history. 20 seconds into the game, the U.S. scored against Canada, and then Canada outplayed them the rest of the game. The XG numbers favored Canada, but at the end of the day, only the final score line is what matters, and the USA won that game 1-0. So now they play Costa Rica, a team that a lot of draws against them in the Gold Cup, but Canada has played well enough to beat this Costa Rica team, who've been the best I can say about this, inconsistent. They haven't looked good in any of their 3 games, but that group was such an easy group for them, including that last game against Jamaica where they won 1-0 and had to sweat to hold on in that game. They just haven't looked consistent, and I can't put my money on a team that doesn't look consistent. Canada has looked consistent. 2 wins and a game in which they outplayed another very good team in the U.S. They've looked consistent throughout, and at that price, they were $235. They're now at plus 200 and plus 187. Money is coming in on Canada because of the what I've just said. They've been the better team of these 2. They just look better right now, consistent enough, and they've got enough scoring that this is going to be one of those games that if you're looking for excitement, Lawrence, you're not going to find it here. This is going to be one of those games that is going to be a 1-0 type scoreline unless there's some type of a defensive miscue. I'll take Canada win. Give me the plus money here. You're getting almost 2-1 on your money. I'll take that in a game that could be essentially a coin flip, and you're getting plus 200.
What a show. Thank you very much, Carmine. We'll have you on next week, talk more. Are you going to be handicapping the Olympics?
Yeah, I've got some future plays out, some gold medal plays out, and some game lines in soccer, which I'll have posted at the end of the day today.
Excellent stuff. Carmine Bianco, everyone. You guys can get his full soccer season for only $599. This is only available to the first 5 people. Carm1, Carm 2, 3, 4, and 5. Brother, thank you for joining us. And guys, it is now time for the penalty box segment.
Nice.
Highlights from yesterday on the water. That's me hydrofoiling. I got it out of the water. Carmine actually texted me last night. How fast was I going? It does go over 30 miles an hour. I probably got it to about 20 miles an hour. It felt really, really fast to me. So there you go. That's me hydrofoiling. And frankly, for 52 years old, I'm damn impressed with myself. I am a nutcase. Always seeking adventure. Anyway, 3 picks for you guys today. I'm passing in all sports today. Taking the day off. I'm actually going golfing today, and I've got hockey tonight. But my 3 bets that I am personally making are yours for free. Detroit Tigers, LA Dodgers under the total, and the Boston Red Sox over the total. A lot of love to you all. Steve Merril, when are you coming to hydrofoil with me?
Yeah, and by the way, just let the viewers know, Prez did get the silver medal yesterday, came in second. The other 10 people you're with all tied for first. But still, congrats on that silver there on the hydrofoiling. I am intrigued by that. Look, wave runners go 20 or 30, like in standard. You know, they go up to like 50 or more. But 20 feels fast on a wave runner. 30 feels very fast. So I'm not joking. That is fast when you're standing on a board. So I'm actually surprised you were going that fast. That looks like pretty cool stuff.
Well, the key is to get the board about 2 feet above the water. There, like you'll see, it lifts, and once it lifts above her, you actually feel it's a weightless feeling, and you feel like you're flying. With that said, you got to be concentrating the entire time because it does land, and if you land it with nose down, you go flying. Trust me, I got a lot of videos of me flying. Anyway, dude, tomorrow's show, Rob Vino, Ski Profits, and we're bringing Kyle Anthony on to talk UFC. Brother, I got a bagel with cream cheese, lox, tomato, and onions waiting for me, so take us home.
Yeah, I was disappointed when you said bagel because you know how hungry you make me with the fried chicken sandwiches, the smoked meats, but lox, that qualifies as a protein, so I'm with you on that one. We'll be back tomorrow, noon Eastern, right here on Friday. Special thank you once again to Dave Cokin, Tony Mejia, and Carmine Bianco, all from WagerTalk.com. I'm Steve Merril. That's the Prez. Find us also at WagerTalk.com for our best bets Thursday night. And most importantly, check back tomorrow here on Friday. By the way, leave us comments below. Prez loves his comments. I like them as well. Thumbs up, subscribe to Wager Talk TV. Once again, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, Friday, right back here. We'll talk to you then. Good luck tonight.
From now until the end of July, all WagerTalk and Sports Memo customers can load as many as 3 and 7-day all-access passes as they want into their shopping cart and take 60% off using coupon code CART60. This coupon code can be used only once at WagerTalk and once at Sports Memo, but there is no limit to the amount of 3 and 7-day all-access passes you can load into your cart when redeeming. Every handicapper is eligible, so take advantage of the biggest discount we have ever offered. And don't forget, coupon code CART60 can only be used once per site and expires when the clock strikes midnight on July 31st.